What WWE Superstars need a character change? We're going to give our opinions on that today. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers and let's talk about some wrestling, huh?
Yeah, we were talking about it a little bit. Sometimes you get a little bit of stagnant characters in WWE.
Yeah.
You're like, man, this guy really sucks. Or this girl could be better if she did this. So we're going to get into it, who we think kind of our most deserving or most needed changes are.
Yeah, let's get right into it, huh? Wouldn't do an honorable mention? I have a good honorable mention. I'm ready for it.
Okay, you go first then.
My honorable mention. Yeah, my honorable mention for someone who needs a character change in the WWE. Omos. He is, since he walked in that door, all he has been is big, tall, mean guy. Enforcer. I say you turn him face and you make him an Otis-like. You make him a big, fun, like, helper of a main character. So, like how Otis was the helper of Chad, make him his right-hand man. And you basically do the Chad Gable Otis story with Omos and somebody else. And get Omos over in that sort of fashion where he has much more of a character build up and fan backing instead of him just walking out, stepping over the rope, standing in the middle of the ring and being the big bad guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Telling you.
he needs something. I didn't even know he's in the WWE still. I don't even.
When's the last time we saw him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Somebody said he's on TikTok he reviews something, does cooking or I don't know what it is. Something. Clothes maybe? I don't know. He does something.
What a legend.
Anyway, I guess my honorable mention here, give me, we'll put this guy. We'll put Bronson Reed in there. As good as Bronson Reed is in the ring, he's also just another big guy. It's a tsunami. It's like a weird.
But you'd have him stay heel though, right? Just a character change, but
yeah. Oh, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me either way, face or heel. He just needs something because he comes out and it's like comic book Tron video thing, and it's just like, oh, here comes a tsunami, and then like that's kind of it.
Yeah.
So I just do something.
He's phenomenal in the ring. We've given him his flowers multiple times on how he's kind of that Sheamus guy of put him in the ring and he will have a banger. So I wouldn't mind him switching it up a little bit. Give him some backing. We'll move on then. Number 5 for me. This is the easy one for me, but a lot of things are about to happen, or WWE fans want it to happen. We're going to need a character change from Randy Orton. He's going to have to go back to being a heel. He's going to have to go back to being a Viper. If we're going to get our Cody versus Orton feud, if we're going to get our Orton versus Cena feud, we are going to need a good, 2020 heel Randy Orton, or even further back than that, bald-headed Randy Orton. We're going to need that guy back here. As much as I love seeing him take in all the fans and being a fun guy every week, in order for us to get what we really want out of him, we're going to need that character change.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I didn't put him on my list because I think I kind of figured that's inevitable.
That's why I said it was going to be easy.
It's going to be happening. So,
yeah.
Number 5 for me, somebody that's probably near and dear to your heart, I went with the Street Profits.
Oh.
I don't know what you do. I know they tried to turn him heel earlier this past year, kind of leading up to, I think it was Mania.
That was so weird.
And it was they came out though in the same clothes with like the same music-ish. And then they were with Bobby Lashley for a little bit there. And that was also weird. But they keep doing the same stuff with the solo cups, and everybody likes the Street Profits. They come out and it's a party kind of in the entrance, but like, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
There's no real character development. They're the same that they've been for years.
Yes.
They need something in order to, I guess, maybe be seen in WWE's eyes as like, okay, these guys are finally ready. I don't know if maybe that's it, but something's got to change because everybody loves the Street Profits. You can keep all the moves the same. You can keep, the interactions the same, but just give them something of substance.
Well, I'm going to just lead into my next guy then, because it's a video and I had to say it. Montez Ford deserves a character change. 100%. Turn him heel. Have him beat up his tag partner. I always forget his name, D'Angelo or whatever his name. Yeah, D'Angelo Hawkins.
Yeah.
Have him beat him up. Maybe rise him up as well. Maybe they can get into a good rivalry here. A good heel Montez Ford could cook. I mean, I think he could cook any fashion you give him. Number 1 Montez Ford fan, but that is a man that needs to get out of the Street Profits. They are stagnant as hell. Do something.
Yeah. My next person that needs a character change. She probably should be higher on the list. I don't have a problem with her character, but we're going to go with Dakota Kai.
Nice.
I think she deserves, obviously, as we've said, we've shown our support for Dakota Kai, saying, hey, she needs something, give her something. Maybe you separate her from Damage Control, and maybe that gives her that little push. But even if they don't, and she keeps the same thing and she separates, that's fine too. But there needs to be some sort of change in her character or who she's aligned with or something.
Yeah, she was on my list. I won't put her down as one of my official answers, but I completely agree with you. And I had written down that I would want her to sort of have a Liv-like character, not in the terms of being like a sexual, that sort of thing. But Liv is a heel, but she's also a heel that acknowledges every night that most of the crowd also likes her. So she's a very much heel tweener where she knows she's liked and she does like try to appeal to those who like her a little bit, but then does heel stuff. I think that sort of like gray area would be really good for Dakota Kai.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
I'm going to go with the big one, Bianca Belair. We went an entire career, John Cena, of not getting the heel turn that all of us wanted. Bianca Belair is 100% the women's generation John Cena. Mm-hmm. She is the top women's merch seller all the time. She is the little girls walking to the stadium with the hair braid and they dance to her music. She is the John Cena for the women of this generation. I think that we should get a heel turn with her at least once in her career. And what better time than when she's tagging with Jade? I'm not talking right now because I think Jade still needs a little bit of time. So push it out a little bit further. But sometime before Mania this year, do it. Give us that big heel turn. Take the chance. She's young. She can make up for it if it does turn out to be an situation. But, God, we need to see it.
Yeah, and I know some people will probably push back a little bit and say, well, she was a heel in NXT. Like, how could you forget that? Like, yes, she was. But in terms of, like, main roster stuff, she's been, like you said, the female John Cena ever since she's been on main roster, basically.
Yeah.
So I think that would be good. I think it'd be really nice to see that Bianca again. Do they do it? I don't know, but I think they should.
No is the answer. No is the answer.
So I've got, oh man, so that was your 3, right?
That was my 3.
Okay, perfect. Because yeah, we'll do it this way. My number 3. They've hinted at it a little bit on TV, and by a little bit I mean a few weeks ago they had a shot of this person being just distraught. I'm gonna go with The Miz. I think The Miz. It's nice that he's the funny, like goofy kind of guy. They just came out with his biography not too long ago. Really highlights kind of how underrated The Miz is, especially as a heel. When The Miz is a heel, he's at his best. Yeah. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
And he can just be inserted into the IC or US, whatever show he's on. You can just insert him right into that, and he'll do great things. He doesn't even have to be in that, but whatever you put him in is going to be good with him as a heel. And I want to see Miz get some good time again.
Had him on my list as well. Obviously, I'm not going to utilize him as one of my numbers, but I'm going to completely agree with you for this reason. I think you have 3 guys right now in the IC title feud, right? And we think that they're going to drop the belt to Braun at SummerSlam. And then maybe you can get Braun and Sammy one more time to solidify that. But then you would then have the Ilya Braun thing for a little bit because they won't just drop that right away. So this would be down the line months further. Man, if Braun goes through Sammy and then Ilya, the Miz would be such a great test for him on the mic, like promo wise. There ain't nobody better on the mic than the Miz, man. We get him back, heel Miz going after his Intercontinental Championship against like a Braun Breaker. Dude, that's magic.
Yeah, I think that'd be really good too because at least what we started to see some of the weeks that have been happening, Braun's been getting that crowd support as well. So it's like he's a badass that I think eventually he's going to be kind of maybe like a tweener, but you can tell the crowd really likes him. So that could be like a nice little just settle turn for him. And then, perfect with the Miz.
One that I'm going to put on here because this is kind of recency bias, but she really showed out. I want Katana Chance to get a heel turn. That tag team is gross. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Even with Lyra being involved, they come out. I'm like, what are they? They're shooting smoke cannons into the crowd, party girls, like wannabe street profits that don't have the swag of street profits. But Katana Chance has proved many, many, many times that she can absolutely go in a ring. And I would like to see some sort of like almost Alexa Bliss-ish princess, like what was she called? The goddess. Mm-hmm. that sort of character change for her. We haven't heard her on a mic very much, so I don't really remember how she can chop it up. But if anybody's in-ring work has shown that they deserve something, Katana Chance is doing it. Give her a little bit of push. Let's at least put her in the pool, you know?
Yeah, we've talked about how the women's tag division has kind of overtaken the singles women's action. Why not start to kind of build up that singles women action? Now, I'm not saying she needs to go have a women's world title match, but you can have her at least separate. You can have a little bit of a feud there. Something's got to change with that because that, like you said, that tag team doesn't resonate. So give just a little something.
The rumors have been spreading about mid-card women's titles, and she would be a name for that.
Yeah.
Her, Dakota Kai, these women that are kind of stuck in tag team limbo at the moment. You push them, you get them going a little bit toward the mid-card title reign, and who knows?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the women's mid-card titles.
Oh,
because I think this person would be a good candidate for that as well. Now, she's in a storyline that she can't really change right now, but I think Maxine Dupree.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect. I think you have her align with Chad. She was at least a really good on the mic. She was like a really good manager, cutting some really good promos when she was with Maxim Male Models. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
But with LA Knight before he was LA Knight, obviously. So I think that could have really been something decent at least. She was pretty good on the mic. Like, she showed then that she was good.
Yeah.
Even now in the backstage promos, she shows she can cut it up a little bit. Now, her in-ring's not necessarily the best, but that's okay. I think that if the character's good enough outside of it, it can kind of make up for it in the ring at times, as long as she's at least passable.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, if she aligns with Chad and maybe turns on Otis, that would be a great way to flip the switch. And, I mean, admittedly, anytime Maxine's on TV, I'm like, okay, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I can't disagree with you at all. I've said on many occasions that I think everybody in the Alpha Academy should come out with some sort of tangible reward for their phenomenal work with what at the beginning felt like something that was just like they were just coming out shushing people and being, these people, and then they turned it into one of the best storylines of all wrestling. So give them all their flowers. Maxine, give her a push.
Yeah, I think actually, I don't mean to interrupt before you go to your top one, but yeah. I think that's smart because, as we said, we think Tozawa and Otis probably challenge for those tag titles.
Yeah. So
you leave Maxine kind of out in the dust a little bit. You could have her turn on Otis and Tozawa, which brings their stock back up.
Yep.
So I think all around it'd be good.
Good stuff. My number one, I realized sitting here, it's a character changes, and I went all heel turns. I am a guy who likes a good heel, all right? I cheer for the bad guy in the movies.
That's fair.
Cheer for the bad guy. This is one that I want to happen down the line toward WrestleMania. I want a main card version of the Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, NXT heel turn, big time match. Tommaso Ciampa, so then. That team is actually getting steam behind it. Months ago, you and I kind of made fun of DIY and that whole gimmick, and we were like, what's going on here? But recently, their in-ring work has translated to the crowd being behind them. Now they have the tag titles. Give them a long tag title reign, which they deserve and they should have. And then one day, have Tommaso do basically the exact same thing he did in NXT against Gargano. Give them the WrestleMania match that we all dreamt that they would have one day when they were in the NXT. Tommaso Ciampa, become the heel, bro.
That's really good. I didn't even think about him. That's fantastic. The NXT stuff with them was great. I'd love to just see it again. I don't even care if it's like rehashed, some people might say. I don't care. Sign me up.
Yeah, just do it.
So, my number one is probably the one that I would think I need right away. Like the most impactful, maybe not even most impactful, but like I'm hitting the alarm. I'm hitting the alert.
You're not about to say Cody Rhodes.
I'm not saying Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
No. But it's going to be Bayley.
Oh, yeah. Well,
this has been a really underwhelming title reign for her. We've talked about our support for Bayley.
Yeah.
Heel Bayley's always a lot better. At least I can feel something when she's out there in terms of like, okay, I can see why she's upset, or I can get this, or whatever the case may be, I guess. But she's just comes out now and it's like, okay, well, I don't need to listen to this. This is terrible.
Yeah.
Heel Bayley was a lot better.
My only problem is that it would be so quick because the whole arc going into Mania was her face turn, and now we're only to SummerSlam, which is 100 days past Mania.
Yeah.
Which I guess Mania was her official face winning championship moment. That seems like a quick turn, but I can't disagree with you. I mean, she's just so much better as a heel, man.
It's so much a quick turn, but I'd also say that maybe WWE, at least I didn't think that her reign would be this underwhelming. It's like, okay, every support that you had from me, now it's like, okay, can you drop the belt to move on to something else?
Which she will. She is.
Yeah, which she will, which is great.
Time's coming.
So
Time's coming.
I see people in the comments say that like we don't seem like we're Bayley fans. We're Bayley fans,
yeah.
But she's got to have some substance behind her. She's better as a heel.
Dude, you're allowed to criticize people that you like when they're doing work that you just don't like. Crazy thought. I know. Absolutely insane. Anyway, those were our top 5 WWE characters that we think need a character change. If you agree with us, if you disagree with us, let us know in the comments. Let us know who you think needs a character change in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on all of our socials at COD WrestlePod, COD WrestlePod. And listen to us wherever you get your podcasts at Spotify, Apple, etc. And share us with whoever you think might like this type of wrestling content. As always, I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. We will see you next time.